Good morning. It is Wednesday already, January 28th, ripping into the end of this month. Today, we're talking about rideshare wars raging, auto brands skipping the Super Bowl, experience beating price. And by the way, this is the Automotive State of the Union.
There it is. I like the backside drop on that. That was good. And by the way, like everyone was hanging on that for a second, you know?
So much so I forgot to turn down the music. Remember when we used to let the music roll for a while?
We used to let it bop. I mean, we would just hang in with it, you know? But now I maybe it's the world of AI that we're like, I need the thing now. You know, I don't know.
That is the world of AI. We recently posted on our LinkedIn. If you don't follow LinkedIn, we do have quite a smattering on the More Than Cars LinkedIn page. We'll give you a lot of fun stuff, a lot of great information and interviews and things. So if you don't follow it, follow it. But we posted a video that one of our creators, Rob Downs, made. And it was our little More Than Cars American flag sticker we had for Policy Day. And it was in the center and all these backdrops were flipping through it. And at first I thought it was like, oh, how did he make that? Because I thought it was AI. And then I realized every backdrop, he took a physical picture on all these things because I recognized, oh, that's that person's mouse pad. That's this, that's that. Yes. And Matt Lasher commented on that. He was like, you can tell when a piece of content has soul.
Oh,
I was like, yes.
I didn't see that comment. I'm going to go comment on that comment right now because that is what it is. It's like there's going to be our human ability to inherit nuance will continue to be there.
It's actually going to sharpen.
It's going to sharpen. It's going to become so clear when that nuance of human touch is present, and you're going to be like, nah, I think
humans are great at that, actually. You know, it's going to be this little weird time where we got to figure it out, but I think we are going to become very great at sniffing out the fake stuff and finding the real stuff. That's one of the challenges. Like some people don't know, like the More Than Cars creative shop is like an agency level services for industry partners primarily. And that we talk about that a lot as AI and stuff takes over skill sets that we typically had to spend a whole lot of hours on, but now we can spend a lot less hours on them. We're talking about like the real value now is figuring out the nuance, coming up with it's like imagination.
Yeah.
A lot of people hire you for imagination because you need tools to deploy it, but the imagination is the human
dreaming thing. Yeah. AI has to be prompted. Our dreams run wild and imagination runs wild. And that's what I love about it.
Well, as we get into the show, we want to thank our friends at Amazon Autos because let's be honest, chasing cold leads is nobody's dream. Amazon Autos flips that by putting your dealership in front of shoppers already buying on Amazon, which is, by the way, the most trusted marketplace in the world. Wow. You list the cars, you set the prices, you own the relationship completely. Amazon just handles the how do we find you? The finding you part. They're like a matchmaker, including customers who weren't considering your dealership before. Actually, 86% of them weren't considering your dealership before. So this means fewer awkward follow-ups, more actual selling. Meet the Amazon Autos team in just a few days at NADA Show 2026, booth 6406 in the North Hall, or check them out online.
Hey, if you're trying to figure out where 6406 is, or the North Hall is, or the West Hall is, or anything like that, all you got to do is go to nadaparties.com, scroll down just a little bit. If you go too far, you'll see all the parties. But if you're looking right there, you can actually see we have developed a prompt library for any of your AI chat places where you can drop in some documents, some sheets, some context, and then prompt it to give you what sessions to go to, what things to see on the floor, what nightly parties to go to, how to recap your day, how to talk it through your day to give you enough to recap to your team when you come back. All of it's there at nadaparties.com. Plus, you can just like check out what you're going to be doing at night. You know,
I just had an idea.
Oh, what's your idea? Oh no.
Ideas. It's a good one because this is how one of the ways I'm going to deploy this GPT while I'm on the floor, because we run like crazy all over the floor. I'm going to upload our call sheet and our stops into there.
That's strong.
Well, because
a little navigation.
Well, a lot of times, right, you got to pull up the map, you got to orient yourself. But if it has the map already, no matter where you are, you can be like, I'm at the Cars Commerce booth and I'm trying to get to the food court. What's the fastest way? And it'll just be like,
ooh,
go this way. And then when you just like real quick voice, it's at your beck and call instead of like open the app. And I mean, the app is helpful too.
You got a little virtual assistant for your NADA show. You know what I mean?
Assistant. And I'll be like, now find me something that has high protein. I don't know if it's that good.
That's not going to be possible.
Okay, let's get into some news. Two automakers, Toyota and Cadillac, are the only ones confirmed to be advertising in Super Bowl 26, as most brands are stepping away from the pricey event. Budget pressure, looking for better efficiency, car companies shifting spends to longer campaigns across other live events. So brands like Ford, BMW, Kia, Honda, Nissan, Stellantis, they're all sitting it out, citing affordability. Well, the OEMs are talking about affordability. Better ROI elsewhere, with $9 million price tag this year for a 30-second spot. No, I don't think it's 9 million. It's not 9 million for the spot. Oh no, it is now. Holy crap.
Yeah,
plus production expenses. So you're looking to drop in another million at least.
At least
is losing appeal amidst industry cost pressures, and automakers turning to the Olympics, the World Cup, the NBA All-Star Game for more cost-effective multi-week campaigns. Here's a quote from Jessica Caldwell, Assistant Vice President of Insights at Edmunds. She says the big game is still a strong brand awareness builder, but there's much more efficient ways to drive purchase consideration and conversion, which is where all automakers are focused. Mass reach used to be scarce, but today streaming, social, and programmatic video lets brand hit millions of shoppers in a more targeted and timely way. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well,
I have an opinion.
I think, you know, as my good buddy Ben Hadley would say, is the cost associated with a channel also is relative to how your brand is perceived in the market, right? So like, even though you can reach more people, drive lower funnel adoption, all of those types of things, it's like when you see a billboard with a brand on it, you assume something about that brand, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. If you see a brand at the Super Bowl, there's like some baseline assumptions about what that brand is willing to do to acquire your eyeballs. And that's it's like a gut thing that you can't track, that feels, you know, when everybody can advertise on Google, everybody can do streaming, not everybody can drop a Super Bowl commercial. And that's the difference.
So I think the budget is obviously, I know the budget's a big play, like a Hyundai, which I think are some of the best people at launching these big Super Bowl ads. They had John Krasinski back from, you know, like the Smat Pack one, but he's just like action actor, and he's in a Palisade with another like dad, and they're just driving around. He's like, hey, check the new Palisade. And then he's like, do you hear that on the roof? He's like, every time I drive, I feel like all these spies and agents are trying to like get him. And he's just brushing it off like it's no big deal, but it's highlighting the car. The car looks great. And they ran it during the NFC Championship game, but aren't running it during the Super Bowl. So they already produced the spot, and they're betting that they can get broader reach or broader brand awareness somewhere else.
Well, and you got the Olympics. I mean, that's
I know, but honestly, the Olympics is so spread out that like you can't. There's so many eyeballs on the Super Bowl that have undivided attention. Not only that, people give and dedicate
more attention to
You're
the
not
commercial.
a Patriots fan or a Seahawks fan, so it's like a pretty small crowd that is in that, right? We don't have two huge name. Patriots draw a big crowd, but most of the people watching the Super Bowl are not caring about the actual game.
Yeah.
Most of the people watching the Super Bowl are in the
halftime and commercials.
Halftime and commercials. And so there is this like, oh yeah, maybe you get more spots, but do you actually have more eyeballs? Do you actually have more attention? But look, dealerships deal with the same thing. There are two types of content you should be producing: brand content and sales content. Brand content has a longer play. You have to build it over time. It also depreciates slower over time. Sales content is like, I need the customer to buy this thing now. And it sounds like automakers are leaning into a more sales-first strategy because of the pricing pressures, because of the spend. And when they're talking like that, they dial back on the brand content, and they're like, I'm trying to get the sales happening. So same story for dealers.
That's it. Same story.
Same story. Speaking of the same story, we've been talking about rideshare quite a bit. And it really is starting to change very quickly. Waymo is becoming a real contender in ride hailing overall. That means like versus Uber. While Tesla is going for the classic price war, a new OB study compares autonomous and traditional services, showing a market reshaping very rapidly, especially in San Francisco. Waymo's robotaxi pricing has dropped and is now only 12.7% more than Uber and 27% more than Lyft, compared to 30 to 40% higher in 2025. So making huge ground in cost parity. Average wait times have improved too, now at 5.74 minutes, which is close to Uber's 3.15 minutes, and actually almost identical to Lyft's 5.14 minutes.
Wow.
Tesla's robotaxi is the cheapest, only $8 per 17 cents a ride, but it's lagging. You're going to wait for it right now. 15-minute wait time.
Yeah. That'll change when they drop a million of them on the
them
US.
Right. It'll be like 30 seconds. OB CEO Ashwini Abrajan says, quote, they're using the playbook, Tesla, that Uber and Lyft used. And we know that playbook works, talking about like, we're just going to be the cheapest. Consumer confidence in autonomous rides is rising. This is the most important stat, in my opinion, with almost 50% now expecting autonomous rides to be their primary ride share.
They better be. I mean, when this is like widely available, I will only request autonomous rideshare. It is so much better. It is consistent, and the drive styles are great. You don't have to worry about smells or weird conversations with drivers. You can play your own music. You can set your own temperature. It just is like, it's so clean. And that's one of the reasons why I'm willing right now to pay a bit more for it. If Tesla undercuts the market, Waymo is going to be forced to do that as well, because there's going to be a high level of competition, and all of that's going to, and Waymo's already in the Uber and Lyft app and actually the Uber app in some of these cities. So they have to drive competition models here. But look, when you can start getting to probably average times in 2 to 3 minutes because of the widespread availability, it's going to be a no-brainer, and I can't wait for it. I'm here for it.
Tesla is, I think, and this is one of Elon Musk's, like, he's very patient in building a very vertical ecosystem, and it's taken longer, and they've taken longer to get it off the ground. I think we've shown now that they will get there. And I actually heard him in an interview, right? People take what Elon Musk says with a grain of salt, but he says, no, I look at autonomous driving, and I look at that as a problem that's been solved. Like, it's solved. Effectively,
it's already solved. Yeah.
We just have to dial it in, but it's solved. And Tesla's got a robo taxi factory, right? Like the Cybercab or whatever they're calling it.
That's it. Yeah.
Is going to just go into production, and they're going to be able to pump things out. And Waymo and Jaguar just can't do it that quickly and efficiently, cost effectively, right? It's completely vertical. Tesla's going to be able to undercut everybody in the market. And I predict that Tesla is going to win the race.
And I
still wish it
right now. I still drive to the airport. This will be a no-brainer for me. Like, I will schedule that thing to show up, and I will no longer drive to the airport.
Yeah, because you're paying for parking, right?
Because you're paying for parking, and this will be cheaper than parking, no doubt. And I don't have to worry about some weirdo showing up at 4 a.m. when my early flight is happening, or coming to my house at 11 p.m. when I'm getting dropped off. And
it drops you off right at the door.
Done.
Oh man, we're having a good time today.
It's on. Speaking of having a good time.
Yeah.
Stop. Segue.
Time. People like you and me, consumers, we want a good time. This new studies are showing that consumers now prioritize consumer experience, with 59% abandoning a brand after one bad experience versus 55% fleeing due to price hikes. According to a global Havas CX study, consistency and emotional connection are key drivers of loyalty. A global survey of 59,000 shoppers shows experience matters more than cost. More consumers ditch brands after poor service than high prices. Emotional connection, personalization now weigh heavily as a functional efficiency in shaping CX. David Schulman said, loyalty can only be earned by delivering unwavering consistency, authentic personal connection, and experiences that create lasting emotional memories. Bring it, retail auto.
So basically, break it down. Someone's much more likely to not come back because they have a bad experience than if they had a high price. They're willing to pay more, right? Paying a high price is much more tolerable than a bad experience. It's just, there it is. That's clear.
Back to Waymo, back to anywhere, back to Apple Store, how many times do we have to say it, fam?
And I think in automotive, it's like price always has to be competitive. That's how people find the vehicles, especially when they're searching on third parties. Yep. But the reality is, if they feel like you're on the ball and your responses to the lead has been amazing, and there's been some personality and it's been fast and they've answered all your questions, if that car is priced a little higher than a comparable car somewhere else, they're not going to go somewhere else. Very few people are just going to save that, the $400 or whatever, if they feel like they've made an emotional connection. Their questions have been answered, and everything is moving fast. Speed.
That's it.
Kyle knows something about
speed to retail.
Speed to retail. Look, we hope you had a good time with us on Wednesday. We have a lot of days left this week, but it really is a countdown to the NADA show. A lot of people are going to be wheels up soon. We're looking forward to being there too, but we have a few more days left. We're going to bring you some more content tomorrow.